I'm not sure who Death Note is for. The new film, now streaming on Netflix, has two really great hooks from two totally different angles. First, it's an adaptation of an extremely popular manga by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata, which in turn was adapted into an extremely popular anime series, which you can also find on Netflix. Second, it's the latest film from Adam Wingard, who has made a name for himself making critically acclaimed, subversive horror films that are consistently surprising and satisfying. Death Note is a letdown on both fronts. As an adaptation, it's mediocre, and as an Adam Wingard film, it's frustratingly straightforward. The plot involves Light Turner, Nat Wolf, an angry young nerd who finds a supernatural notebook called the Death Note that, with extensive rules and conditions recorded on the first few pages, allows him to kill anyone by picturing their face and writing their name on its pages. Light, whose father is a cop, then uses his newfound power to begin imposing his own version of grim justice on the world, killing the criminals of the world with a stroke of his pen, and styling himself as Kira, an omnipotent lord of murder. But in his desire to be seen for his actions, Light attracts the attention of L. Lakeith Stanfield, a strange but brilliant private detective who has the backing of the FBI, and also is followed by Ryuk, Willem Dafoe, a god of death who created the Death Note almost entirely to screw with humans. Even in its original source material, Death Note, on its face, is patently absurd. The premise is simple and has a strong hook, a supernatural notebook that gives its owner the power to kill anyone whose name they write in its pages, but also comes with a Byzantine set of rules and conditions that then pivot into actual plot points, usually revealed when it's time for a dramatic twist. This works well enough to overlook in a lengthy, multi-part manga or anime series that's able to layer tension and really dig into the cat and mouse dynamic at the heart of Death Note. Compress that into an hour and 40-minute movie, and all you have is the absurdity, with no chance to just buy into the premise and lose yourself in its suspense. To its credit, Netflix's Death Note adaptation is not the least bit self-conscious about the work it's adapting. It doesn't bother qualifying its wild premise and doesn't even waste any time on setup. The Death Note falling from the sky is literally the first thing that happens in the movie. As adaptations go, it plays everything straight, even faithfully recreating Ryuk's incredibly creepy design from the manga anime. For what it's worth, Willem Dafoe is having a great time and makes Ryuk a highlight of the film. While pacing and length are probably the most evident problems with this adaptation of Death Note, things get a little bit thornier when you stop to consider the film's biggest change, its setting.